Hey guys, it's Eagle, and welcome, welcome back to another episode of Technological Journey. Yeah, I know it's been a long time. It's been a long time, but we're finally back. If you guys didn't see, I made a community post kind of talking about where I've been, what I've been up to, but let's not worry about that right now. Let's just talk about what we've been up to in our world a little bit. So haven't been able to play too much, but in the time that I have been able to play for 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, I've just been kind of preparing and making some necessary upgrades so that we can continue to progress today. So first things first, let's just go ahead and check the quest book and see where we're at. Okay, so we did, I think in the last episode, start creating some of this epoxy resin, and we made some basic progression down this HV Age quest book. And between the last episode, I went through the process of mining and setting up some infrastructure so we could make ourselves some Canthal coils and upgrade some EBS. Maybe make some more of those today. I haven't really decided if I'm going to do that yet, but if we go over here, we can go ahead and get this out of the way and grab ourselves some Canthal coils. Very cool. So that's done. So that's very cool. We can use those to upgrade our EBF. I even have enough to make a dual one, so we'll probably end up doing that at some point soon because we're going to need to be, especially once we get to the moon, which is our main objective, we're going to have to use a lot of those to start continuing to smelt up some things. Also, in the last episode, I made the vacuum freezer, which has been super helpful in making all of that Canthal ingots. But as you can see right here, we have ourselves a little bit of a setup here, and these are HV machines, and I've just been kind of using these to process some ores. And if you look in here, all of these, I have a lot of different things processed down, and this is just a little bit of the amount that I actually did. A lot of it is spread out across these chests, and all of this was to take our aluminum that we mined and get ourselves some bauxite from that as byproduct that you can only get from HV tier machines and up. And then we electrolyzed the bauxite to get ourselves some rutile. So this is going to be the main component to get ourselves some titanium, which is going to be super important in making ourselves all the rocket components. So a lot of the goals today are going to be centered around getting ourselves prepared to go to the moon. So let's go ahead and check the quest book here again and see exactly what we're going to need. So down here on this long chain is the path we're going to have to take to get ourselves to the moon. So firstly, right here, if you see this chemical chain here, this is going to be for making rocket fuel. Now, I have no idea how much rocket fuel we're going to make. I did a little bit of processing of some of these components. I have some ammonia in a cell, so I have some ammonia. I also have some methanol, which we're going to need. Go like that as well. And there's a couple more things that are necessary. We need to get some hypochlorous acid, which I have saved over here in our quest book. Hypochlorous. All we need is some chlorine and some water and an integrated circuit, and we'll get some hydrochloric and some hypochlorous. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's get ourselves the chemical reactor. Go back in here. I have some chlorine cells already pre-made. Okay, let's grab some empty cells. Oh, also, I didn't even talk about this. The cells. The cells have been super cool. I learned about these and asked in a comment of another Technological Journey YouTuber by the name of Mildly Warm, and yeah, he kindly told me that yes, they are worth it. They are super nice, and I'm glad I listened because they are super cool for moving fluids around. They are a godsend. They are a godsend. So over here, this is just a little setup I created to start making ourselves some fermentation base, and that's what we're using in the I believe the distillery to get ourselves the ammonia and methanol. So there's a better way to do this. This recipe is terrible. I believe the best way to do it is to make ourselves a pyrolysis oven, which I just didn't want to do. I don't know why. I'm going to do it at some point because it's way better. We can use wood vinegar to distill that down instead of the fermentation base. So that's infinitely times more efficient and doesn't take nearly as long. So, and we get some cool byproducts as well. So that's what we're going to do. But for right now, this is kind of just passively creating ourselves this. But the conversion rate from this into these is terrible. And the reason is because to make some of that stuff, the rocket fuel is not a cheap recipe. This dimethylhydrazine is crafted with 2,000 millibuckets of methanol, 2,000 millibuckets of ammonia, and 1,000 millibuckets of our hypochlorous, and that'll just give us 1,000 of the dimethylhydrazine. So it is not a very easy recipe. So for every 2,000 of these, we get, you know, a few thousand of the rocket fuel. So it's not a great conversion, especially considering I have no idea how much rocket fuel we're going to need to get to where we need to get to. But let's push that down the road just a little bit, because that has been a pain. What else have we done? What else have we done? I think that might be just about everything other than some mining. But let's go ahead and get this hypochloric acid set up. I do have a chem reactor here set up that's already getting some water. We can put some chlorine in. Let's double check and see what circuit it has to be on. 1. Okay. Put this on 1 real quick. Very nice. And we can drop ourselves in the chlorine. And then we'll start to create ourselves some hydrochloric acid as well as some hypochlorous acid. And thankfully, with these drums, which are super nice, I don't know if there's any more of these. Let's see. There is a tungsten steel cell, which I don't know how much it holds. Let's see. It holds 256 millibuckets. That is, or 256 buckets worth. That's super nice. So it's 4 times the size of these steel cells. That's really cool. Anyway, this is a pretty easy recipe, so we're getting a good amount of hypochlorous acid. The next step of this is going to be getting the dimethylhydrazine, which is going back into a chemical reactor with our 3 things that we've made. And yeah, we're going to get even more hydrochloric acid out of that. So we're going to let this cook up. Let's disconnect this water for now, and we can get rid of that when we have enough. But anyway, we'll just go ahead and let that cook up until we are out of chlorine. Let's kind of check on what else we're going to need. We're going to need these launch pads. So there's some steps that need to go into this that are going to be a little bit more challenging than not challenging per se, but just stuff I haven't done before. So the launch pads require concrete. So concrete is, I'm not exactly sure. So we have to make this liquid concrete and then fluid solidify it. And the liquid concrete is just in a LV mixer with clay and stone, which thankfully I think we have. So I just have to find a mixer. Well, one of these are both in use right now, so I might have to steal some usage from one of those. But we need to get some clay and some stone, which I think we have over here from our macerator, our HV macerator. Yep, there's some stone, there's some clay. Let's see, what's the recipe look like? Let's make ourselves a. Oh, did I already do it? I already had one. Okay, so it's 3 stone to 1 clay. It's a very strange ratio, so we'll just do that. All right, check it again. Integrated circuit number 3. Okay, so I think we can stop making some of those fermentation base and switch this over into making some concrete. Now, I know it seems strange that we're still using these LV machines, but I just have a good amount of them, so I'm not ready to give up on them yet. Okay, so you see right here, these recipes are 5 minutes long, which is not ideal. Let's just go ahead and stop this right now. So let's find our cell. I don't think we have a cell with any of that in it. Let's grab ourselves out the fermentation base. This one can keep going. Let's stop with this one. So let's get rid of all these for now. I don't even care. Okay. Now we can get rid of this. Put that in there. All right. Not too bad. All right, let's get the mixer back intact here. What we're also going to want to do is grab some water. Don't need that connected. And get some water going in there. Perfect, perfect. Put this circuit in. Put the clay dust in. And put the stone dust in. And this should, in theory... is it a mixer? Clay dust and stone dust and water. Integrated circuit 3. Oh, okay, so I did that wrong. Put that on 3. And now we should start seeing some concrete being made. Very nice. Okay, well that makes a decent amount, so that's pretty cool. All right, and once we get this concrete, we can put it in a block mold in a fluid solidifier, which I believe I have a block mold, a plate mold. Okay, so let's make a block mold. A block mold. Cool. And oh no, out of steel plates. At least, no, I have some. My inventory is a bit of a mess. I spent a lot of time. Oh, I forgot one thing I didn't show you. I spent a lot of time making a lot of circuits to hopefully mitigate the amount of time that we're gonna have to spend doing that today. I don't know if I have enough, but let's just hope so. So I'll take you in there to see what we've been up to. So there we go. We've got our block mold. But in here, as you can see, I got rid of some of the chest setup and stuff over here and in favor of some 2x2 drawers. So I have a lot of the different circuit crafting components in here. As you can see, I have 21 HV circuits, which hopefully should be enough to get ourselves all of the rocket components that we're going to need. A big part of the bottleneck for this was making these MV superconductor wires. They require a lot of like pumps because that's just the most efficient way we can do it currently until we get into the next tier of circuit down in here. I believe you don't need them for this one. Yeah. So once we start making system on a chips, better circuit boards, and fine red alloy wires, or no, yeah. So we need these. This is the recipe up here. We can make 4 of the MV circuits, and go from there. But I think, let's see, what does the recipe look like to make an HV one of these? Yeah, so we need titanium plates to make the next tier HV circuit, but I do see this being significantly easier, especially once we have access to the moon and all of the titanium that we can get from there. This isn't too bad. We have a lot of RAM. Circuit boards not gonna be too bad. Epoxy resin is not terrible to make. I haven't made a super large amount of it yet, but oh, that sound is super loud. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, anyway, that's gonna be the process here. Let's see. This is still going. Looks like it's done. Let's grab ourselves out this concrete. Grab that. Some borosilicate glass in here, which is not super nice. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. Let's see, concrete. This should make ourselves the concrete blocks, or the light concrete blocks at least. And then from there, we can make ourselves the launch pads. Let's see exactly what we need for the launch pads again while we're here. We need some yellow dye, which can we use any kind of... Looks like we're probably gonna actually have to go find some flowers. You can use carbon for the black part, so that's not super important. Good thing we have a lot of yellow flowers around, so it shouldn't be too bad. But I'm gonna let this go real quick, and I'm gonna go collect myself some flowers, and then I'll be right back. All right, got some flowers, and we made it into some dye, and we are ready to make ourselves some of this concrete. So we're gonna go ahead and let that cook up. And while that's doing that, I think I'm just gonna spend some time and craft up all this stuff we're gonna need, at least until it becomes a little more complicated. I wanna kind of walk you guys through what I'm doing. As far as all this chemistry goes, making a chemical reactor to do so, some space suits, and we'll just see what we can get done. So while this is going, I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit of a crafting montage. All right, here we are, back into it. Finally got this EBF upgraded. Finally. So I've been letting this thing go for just a little bit while I'm out doing some other stuff. And we've got ourselves 30 titanium ingots ready to be put into the vacuum freezer. So I'm going to go ahead and move these like a madman because I don't want to run a cable right now. So call me lazy, whatever. It'll be, that's a problem for later me. But anyway, here we go. Let's bring these titanium ingots over. Hopefully don't die. Hurry up, put them in. Okay, we survived. We survived. But yeah, so we're gonna let those freeze down so we can get ourselves our first titanium ingot. Super exciting. Awesome stuff. And that's gonna be the last thing we need before we can start really crafting up this rocket stuff. And mark my words, we will get to the moon today. We will. We're very close. We're very close. So let's go ahead and grab out our titanium. I believe we're gonna need 4 off the start. We're having some power issues because I did move a lot of our generators over here to power this EBF. I need to make some more and maybe look into upgrading that power setup. Well, let's go ahead and make these into plates because that's going to be necessary to make one of the machines here. And I have all of it kind of played out over here onto the side here. Crafted up some things. It took a little bit of time. Anyway, let's just go ahead and see what we can craft so far. So the first few things we're going to want to do, we got the spacesuits. Rocket assembling machine is going to be important. That's what we needed those plates for. So there we go. We've got the rocket assembling machine and the fueling station. We made up the pumps for that. Got ourselves the fueling station. We're also going to need this linker. This is going to be how we're going to get the fuel into our rocket once we build it. And the hollow projector. I'm not exactly sure what this thing does, but it's part of the quest. So we're going to go ahead and build it. So I'm not sure. I don't know. Hopefully that's pretty cool. Now, that pretty much completes that quest. We get some more rutile from that. That quest is completed. Cool. And next thing we're going to need to do is make this gas charge pad. Now, I believe this is what we're going to use to get some oxygen into our spacesuit. I've not really played around with the spacesuit at all. I've done some testing in a creative world just to see how difficult it was to build the actual rocket and what that process looked like. So we should be good there. But as far as powering the suit and getting that full of oxygen, I'm not exactly sure, so let's just go ahead and build this gas charge pad if we have what we need. Looks like we're going to need another HV pump and a bronze drum. Interesting. Okay, so bronze drum. Is there a better way to do this? A forge hammer. Okay. Well, we need to make some bronze rods, which we do have a little bit of bronze, so let's go ahead and do that. So take these bronze rods. I don't have a lathe. I only have an LV lathe right now, so not super efficient, but it's what we got. Okay, cool. So I'm glad I spent a lot of time in between the last couple episodes building, you know, a little backlog of HV circuits. We should have enough to do everything we need to get to the moon, but we're going to need many more to make some machine upgrades and some power upgrades. But this should be fine for right now. So let's just take these bronze rods. This should be enough for now. And get ourselves this bronze drum. Okay. Some long rods. Cool. And then we should be able to make the bronze drum now. Nice. And the last part of this is going to be an HV pump. Now, looks like we're going to need some stainless steel pipes and another electric motor. So we just need some stainless steel rods polarized. And did it say medium steel pipe? Medium stainless steel pipe. Okay. We should have some stainless steel ready to go. I did fill up a canister of oxygen. There is some stuff in advanced rocketry, and I'm not 100% sure if we're going to need any of it. It doesn't say anything in the quest book about it, so we're going to make the gas charge pad and see if that illuminates the path for us. So, medium pipe. Extruder shape. Put that in here. Let's make some more. Not too bad. We're probably going to need more than I think. We haven't even started building our rocket components yet, so hopefully we have enough to do that. Otherwise, that's going to take a little bit of time. Anyway, let's go ahead and make this up. We need the pump. We need the rods. I forgot to polarize those. Good thing it's nice and quick. All right, now we grab those. Alrighty, I'm getting super excited now. We're getting closer to going to the moon. I've never really played with advanced rocketry at all, so I'm kind of excited. Let's get this gas charge pad built. Cool, so we have the gas charge pod. Also, another thing we're gonna have to do, I might end up just using, I'm not sure how much power it's actually gonna take. I think I have an extra generator in here of some kind. I think it's a gas burning generator. I'm not sure. Maybe it's in one of my backpacks. Yeah, I have this gas turbine. That should be good enough to power all this stuff. It does need power. So I should just be able to bucket over some of the ethanol. Or some kind of gas to power that. But anyway, let's check this out and see. So it does need some power. Can I put oxygen in here? Can. Okay, so that fills it up. Then can I put one of these in here? Okay, so it might need power to do that. But let's go ahead and take this for now. Okay, if we avoided that for right now. It's not a huge deal. Let's get some power on this thing. We can put it here, maybe? No power? It need to be powered from the bottom. Oh, up the wall. Okay. By putting it on top of this, maybe. Still not being charged. I may need to do a little bit more research and figure out how exactly these work. Does it need HV power? No, that doesn't seem to do a difference either. Okay. So I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to power this thing. Okay. Interesting. So maybe I need to do a little bit of research and figure that out. But for now, let's just continue on and see what else we're going to need. So that's cool. So the last parts of this that we're going to need to get our rocket built are the actual components themselves. Let's try and see if we have enough components for that. We're going to need 5 of these liquid-fueled engines. I can only make 2 right now. What are we running out on? Steel rods? Okay, that's not too bad. Made a bunch of steel between last episode. Put this into the lathe. Ourselves some steel rods. Okay, what else are we going to need? The fuel tank, I think. Liquid fuel tank. This is just a lot of stainless steel, which means we're probably gonna need some more stainless steel rods too. So let's go ahead and check and make sure. See how many of those we have. We do have 25 of those and 32 plates, so that should be fine. So let's go ahead and do that. How many do we need? We need 10 of them. 1, 2, 5. Okay, cool. We've got 10 of those. That wasn't too bad. Oh, look at that. Take up half the screen. Cool. I mean, I guess it is a rocket component. That makes sense. And a seat. That's just going to be some wool. Planet ID chip. I have a feeling that this is going to be a little bit more complicated than I think. Oh, good. We need a cutting saw, lubricant we have, circuit plate, diamond lens, silicone wafer. Oh, good. Okay, so this is going to take a little bit of time. So I think I'm going to take this opportunity. Once I get the boosters built, if I get these boosters built, I'm going to see about doing some stuff off camera here and seeing if I can get the last components necessary to make this rocket. So we're part of the way there. The guidance computer. Oh, this is what it was. Yes, so the guidance computer is going to take a lot of crafting of some stuff that we don't, or we probably don't have right off the bat. These emitters, looks like we need 4, so we're going to need 4. Oh, goodness. Okay. Oh, wrong thing. We're going to need 4 HV circuits and a 5th one. So we need 5 HV circuits just to make the guidance computer for our rocket. Like I said, I did make a decent amount of them. I think I made like 25, almost 30 of them. We're already down to 15. So go ahead and grab our 5 we're going to need just to make that part. It's amazing how much, how many of these circuits it takes to get down into the HV circuits. I think I had like 4 stacks of these lower tier circuits. But thankfully, now because of the titanium we have, I think that should unlock even easier circuit crafting. I'll have to go back and look through the recipes and see exactly what that's going to look like. But that should hopefully we won't have to go through that process again. Maybe we can start from MV tier instead of LV and then craft up from there. So that should be easier. But anyway, I'm going to take a little second and get that guidance computer components crafted up, and I will get back to you when I have all of the components of our rocket. All right, I'm back, and I think I have everything that I need now finally to build that rocket, get ourselves going to the moon. So I ended up figuring out why I wasn't able to fill up my spacesuit. I needed to get some pressurized cylinders so that I can put some oxygen in that, and then I can put that into my spacesuit. First, to do that though, I had to build this space station or the suit workstation, and I put my suit in there, and then I was able to fill it with my oxygen tanks. So you should be good to go as far as that is concerned. Now, I know it said something in the quest book here. Let's go ahead and collect this. We can get ourselves 2 buckets of rocket fuel. That's not too bad. We should have about 8 buckets worth now of rocket fuel to fuel our rocket. Hopefully that's enough for the returning journey as well. That's going to be important. Anyway, what did it say? I think it said something about setting a home when you get there. Let's see. I'm not sure exactly what it said, but basically it said something about along the lines that you can set home. I do like set home moon / home moon. And it teleports me there. Okay, cool. So I can do that once I get there to make myself. How do I delete a home? Delete. Thought it was Dell home. Excuse that. I'm a moron. I figured it out. I don't know how to type. So that's not, that took me all of 3 seconds to figure out. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this launch pad built so we're ready to blast off. So let's figure out where we want to put it. So let's put it here. Let's start with a 3x3. I'm just using the basic setup that is on the wiki for this mod pack. Let's see. So then I need this to be 5 high here. And then on these sides, I need to put the fueling station and the rocket assembling machine. I need both of these to be on 1 block out from this and 1 block up. Let's put the fueling station here and the rocket assembly machine here. You want to make sure that the outputs of these are facing away from the center. So these sides, not as important, I don't think, with the fueling station. But anyway, we need to get these powered. So let's go ahead and put this here. I also got the gas generator or the gas turbine here, so then we can place in some cable and hopefully power these up. I'm not going to do that right now. Let's build the rocket first. And the first things we're going to need is put down our liquid fueled engine. You want to put them in a plus pattern. And from here, you want to put tanks on top of each of these. Very nice. Cool. And then from here, you want to get the guidance computer, which, by the way, was a pain to craft. I had to go through a whole different kind of side thing of making some special wafers to make this Planet ID chip, and that was not very fun. That was not very fun, but I got to figure it out. Not too bad, I suppose. If I had done some preparation, it wouldn't have been that bad. But anyway, we have that done. So now we want to go on top here and place our guidance computer. We can put it here. I don't know if the orientation matters on this, but we'll just put it this way. Put our seat right in the middle. And then from here, we want to put our Planet ID chip in. And I think once we have this powered, let's get this out of my hand. And we're going to need the linker as well, which we have. I guess we can just fill this with power. I'm just using naphtha because it's one of the gases that we had. And these are being powered, thankfully. We need to put the rocket fuel in here. Oh, good. Can I not put that in there? Oh, annoying. Annoying. Okay, so we have to get the ender fluid tank that I have to convert this out, I think. So let's see. Do I not have it on me? Okay, anyway, let's just go back and do it. I know I have a tank for it somewhere. Ender fluid tank is somewhere in here. Ender fluid tank. There it is. Okay, so we can use this to kind of just turn it into buckets. Not too bad, but it is kind of annoying. It takes a long time to break. Make sure we probably bring some buckets with us so that we can properly refuel our rocket. Grab our buckets out, fill those up. Use the fueling station. 2 more. Okay, very nice. Set that in there, and from this point, we want to, I think we want to assemble our rocket, or we want to scan it first. So now we have the rocket scanned. It kind of tells us some cool metrics here about how well equipped our rocket is to travel. It says we are clear for liftoff here. So I think what we want to do first is build the rocket. Now that it's built, we have to shift right click. We can go into the interface here. We can select our destination. And I believe the moon is, yep, here it is. Click that, or you can also go to the planet list and see all the available worlds that you can travel to. Make sure that's selected and then hit select. that will have that configured. You can see here that if we had fuel, we could press space to take off. So first thing we got to do though, we got to make sure this rocket is properly fueled. We want to shift right click onto the fueling station and then regular right click onto your rocket. And that should begin to fuel up your rocket. And you can see, let's see, there's a place where, yeah. And if you shift right click the rocket, you can open the interface and see its fuel level. So we're going to try to fill this up as much as we can here. Hopefully we have enough. I know in my testing that if you give this rocket full fuel, it should have enough to get you there and back and then some. So not too bad. It's going to be cutting it pretty close. Rocket fuel is going to be something that we're going to need to produce a little bit better. And to do that, I'm going to need to make a pyrolysis oven, which I'll just do off camera because it's not super important right now, but that's just something that I can do to make rocket fuel production a little bit easier. So that almost filled it up. I think it would take one more bucket and then it would be good to go, or two maybe. This should be plenty to get us there and back. And if not, we can also teleport home from the moon and then we can just bring rocket fuel to refuel it. So not too big of a deal. Should be able to make the safe journey to and from. So this is the completed rocket setup. We have everything we need, and all we got to do is just get our spacesuit on and go ahead and get going. So I'm going to go ahead and put my spacesuit on, and we're going to hop on that rocket and blast off. All right, it's time. Let's put our suit on. We have some extra oxygen. I have the gas charge pad in case I need to take these off and charge it. I can just stand on the gas charge pad, hopefully, and charge it. If not, we will panic button and get all the way home. We should be okay to go ahead and launch. Perfect position for the moon. Let's set sail. Can I get up here this way? Oh, how do I get up there? Oh no. How do I get on the rocket? There we go. All right, let's go. Engines are starting. And we have liftoff. Here we go. Oh, this is so cool. This is awesome. We're gonna be able to see all of our base here. As we go, we can see our altitude over on the left, going ever higher. Fuel, not doing great, but I think we should be okay. Just keep climbing. It takes far less fuel to return than it does to get out of this atmosphere. We are up in space now. We are zooming, max velocity, down to half fuel. Continue our journey on. Here we go. We've arrived. Press space to descend. Uh-oh, I'm a little bit scared. Oxygen still looks good. I think I can still breathe. What's going on with our altitude here? I'm not sure what's going on. Is it loading in the chunks? Uh-oh. I don't think we're using any fuel, at least. We're just kind of stuck. See our Y value over there on the right. It's not changing. Here we go. Looks like we're falling now. Should start to see the surface here soon. Looks like we're landing. There we are. Moon's surface. It is dark. I don't know what I expected. I guess it is nighttime here. Here we go. We're slowly landing down. We have officially made touchdown on the lunar surface. This is awesome. This is so cool. Gravity's nice and low. Awesome. This is so cool. We did it. All that journey. We finally made it to the moon. Awesome. It took a lot to get here. It took a lot of progress to get here, but it's super cool now that we're finally here. That's awesome. And our main objective in being here is just to get some easier titanium, which is kind of funny, to be honest. There's rutile veins and bauxite veins on the moon's surface that we can mine up to get even more titanium made. Another thing we're going to want to do once we're here is to collect some dilithium. Now, it doesn't show up on our prospector. If we read this quest book here, the dilithium doesn't show up on our prospector. So we will have to do some manual mining, which I've got no problem with doing that. So I think, actually, because of how cool of progress this is going to be going into the next episode, I think I'm going to stop it here. We've made really cool progress and finally made it into the moon. Now I want to see if we can see the Earth from surface. May not be able to until the day, but that would be super cool. But I think that's where I'm going to call it here, guys. It was a super, super cool episode. I'm glad to be back, and what a great way to return to travel all the way here. So I'm super, super excited for the next episode. If you guys did enjoy the video, please hit the like button. I'm super excited to continue. And if it's your first time watching a video of mine, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and follow along on this technological journey with me. But other than that, it's been Eagle. Peace.